What's up, everybody? Tupac expert back in the building. Yo, man. So, yesterday I put up a video of Warren G talking about how he got his chain took from Deathrow game MOB members. I think probably Buntry the one took his chain. Anyway, he was also talking about Tupac, how he didn't connect with Tupac. But as I was searching for a thumbnail of Tupac and Warren G, I came across this picture, this Instagram post by Warren G talking about Tupac. And let me just read it right here. Warren G, and he's talking to Snoop Dogg. He said he's mentioning Snoop Dogg. It says Warren G at Snoop Dogg opened the door for Pac when he told Suge to sign him, and that's when Pac started to shine. And Snoop was already huge. I produced definitions of a thug for Pac on Poetic Justice soundtrack, which also made his buzz explode. Not really. Pac is definitely a legend, and Snoop paved the way. False as hell. Then Young Noble corrects Warren G and says, false. Pac was a certified star before he got to the row. Movies and hit records and albums. He came to the row and took over. Yeah, man. Exactly. I don't know what Warren G is talking about. But I'm reading the comment. Here's the Instagram comments. Hold up. This is My Religion is Rap. I guess this is his post. But he says, wow, after 48-year-old Warren G appeared to be showing signs of early dementia by making an infactual statement about Tupac and Snoop, Outlaws member Young Noble bluntly corrects him. And this is from 2019, y'all, so it's not recent. Then the comment says, hold up. Didn't Pac have like 2 CDs out before he ever came to the West? And that movie Juice? Pac was well known before getting signed to Deathrow. Another comment. How many hit records Pac was? Pac was a poor man's Will Smith. If he didn't get shot and arrested, who would have been checking for him? Thank you, Noble. They're trying to dirty up every real black man name by letting those who've been punked take credit for work they never put in. Pac stayed in the studio 24/7. Lil Wayne was inspired and did the same thing. No sleep, just music. F Warren G talking about exactly nothing. Nada. Warren G, LOL, dumbass. Okay, it goes on and on. People have their opinions. But I'm going to tell you right this. Warren G is definitely wrong. Warren G probably wasn't following Pac like that. Warren G was trying to be a rapper. Warren G was a rapper himself, and Warren G was into Warren G, was minding Warren G's business. So I guess he really wasn't checking for Pac like that, you know. But Warren G is definitely wrong. Pac was a star. Pac was a star, man. So let me tell you how it all began. You know, from Pac's career and why Warren G, I don't know why Warren G would say that. Well, like I said, Warren G probably wasn't really checking for Pac like that. Now, if you ain't checking for somebody, you're not gonna see how great they are. You see what I'm saying? Warren G had Snoop and Nate Dogg. Warren G wasn't checking, and I admit, when Snoop came on the scene, he blew up. He blew up by Dre. You know, he got off to a great start because he had Dre by his side. So of course he blew up bigger than Pac when he first came out. So all the attention was on Dr. Dre, Snoop, you know, and all that. You know, they were the bigger stars before Pac even came on Deathrow. You know, they were the bigger stars. I have to admit that. But Pac was climbing to the top. Pop was climbing to the top though. But let me just say, when Tupac came to Deathrow, he was a certified superstar in his own right. Deathrow didn't make Pac a superstar. Pac was already a superstar when he came to Deathrow. You know what I'm saying? That's just like if Shaquille O'Neal joined the Chicago Bulls with Michael Jordan. That's how it was with Pac when Pac joined Deathrow. Two superstars became a superpower. So Deathrow became a real superpower when Pac joined. You see what I'm saying? And man, I remember that feeling. So I'm finna go back to Tupac's career and just prove Warren G wrong about what he's saying. He's saying Snoop paved the way and Pac started to shine when he came to Deathrow. No, Pac already had shine. Pac was already a star, man. Warren G trying to say Pac wasn't a star until he came to Deathrow, but that's not true. He was already a star, a superstar, whatever, an all-star, HOF Hall of Fame legend. He was already that before he even came to Deathrow. He was already that. Deathrow just made it even bigger than what it was. Just made his name even bigger. You see? But you got to go back to Pac's early career. Pac was a star when he got started. You go back to. I go back to Brenda's Got a Baby. I go back to that, cause before I listened to Tupac, I was listening to LL Cool J, Ice Cube, NWA, all that West Coast stuff, and some East Coast stuff too. That's what I was on. And then, like I said before, I was just getting out of school, and I saw a video of Brenda's Got a Baby as I was coming in the house. I believe the TV was already on, but it caught my attention. The song was playing. I saw this cool looking dude walking in the video, rapping, and he caught my attention. I said, who was that? I never seen that guy before. Who was that? And the song was a very heart-touching song, heartwarming, and I never heard anything like that before. A very beautiful song. I'm used to hearing, rap, just regular rap, Ice Cube, gangster shit, you know what I'm saying, gangster shit, LL Cool J, stuff like that. But this guy was saying something different, right? So he caught my attention. And, I think later on, maybe a year or in between months or a year, I saw Juice. It was a great movie. At the time, I don't think I knew to I don't at the time I don't think I put two and two together. That was the guy that was rapping on Brenda's Got a Baby. I don't think I put them two together at that time. So I didn't even know Tupac was a rapper when he was in the movie Juice. I just liked the movie. And yeah, that movie made him a star. Not gonna say superstar, but it made all them guys a star. And one day as I went to the record shop in the mall, I picked up a CD and I said, hey, this is the guy from Juice. I didn't know he rapped. Picked up the CD, Tupacalypse Now. So I said, wow, oh man, this dude rap? I didn't know that. So I bought the CD. Didn't really I liked that one song, Brenda's Got a Baby, but didn't really like the CD. Wasn't feeling the CD, to be honest with you. Didn't really like it. I don't know what happened to the CD. You know, I lost it over the years. But I'm seeing Tupac on interviews. I'm seeing music videos. I keep seeing Brenda's Got a Baby. Then I see, what else I see? I see Keep Your Head Up. Probably a year after. No, I worked at a grocery store at the time, and I would look at hip hop magazines, and I would see Tupac's picture in all the hip hop magazines all the time. He was very photogenic. He stayed in those magazines. You know what I'm saying? He stayed in those magazines in the early 90s. So I began to be familiar with Tupac, and then a year go by, and his hit single "Keep Your Head Up," huge single, had great momentum. Keep your head up. And I'm working at a grocery store at this time. I'm around about 16, 17. I'm working in a grocery store, and Keep Your Head Up is on. Everybody loving it. You know, his second album come out, Strictly for My Niggas. I buy it. You know, because I'm familiar with him now. He's in the magazines. Keep Your Head Up is a hit. And he's on interviews. He's interviewing about Juice. Talking about another movie coming out, you know, with Janet Jackson. So I'm peeping for that. The magazine's talking about it. So I'm peeping that. I mind you, Strictly for My Niggas, Keep Your Head Up was probably... Oh, Keep Your Head Up and I Get Around was the only two singles that really popped like that. That really was popping. So I bought the whole album. I liked the album. I liked the tape. I bought the tape. I used to bump the tape. It was a okay tape. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it was no Ice Cube stuff, because Ice Cube was the number one rapper back then. It wasn't touching Ice Cube, but it was still good. It was good enough. You know, it was getting better. It's better than that first album. So I gave him a second chance. I bought his second album. So yeah, it was cool. But those two singles were great. I Get Around and Keep Your Head Up. So yeah, I bumped that. I was a Tupac fan. I like the dude, man. You know, he was doing things. So yeah, man, I remember bumping that. I remember the effect of watching Keep Your Head Up video. I remember loving. I love watching that video. You know what I'm saying? It was so cool. Jada Pinkett in there. I was like, how he got Jada Pinkett in the video? I didn't know that he knew Jada Pinkett since high school. You know, this was before the internet, social media, so a lot of information that we get now, we didn't get back then. Then I see Keep Your Head. I see I Get Around. That was around the summer, '93, I believe. That was a great song, a fun song. Tupac running around. It was a fun video. So yeah, man. I mean, he was getting there. He's still a star. He was getting there. Then Poetic Justice come out too around about that time. So, and I don't think Poetic Justice did that well. Some people say it was a failure, but in the hood it was a success. You know, in the high schools it was a success among the black teenagers. You know, we liked it, especially looking at no fine Janet Jackson. So that put Pac face and name out there even more. You know what I'm saying? So even if he got an underground buzz, you know, his underground buzz is strong. You know, and his star caliber had went up a notch or two. You know, now he's on Arsenio Hall. You know, so and he's in the news also because he's getting into trouble. You know what I'm saying? So the buzz is buzzing for Tupac, and then he dropped Thug Life, and I didn't know about Thug Life. That was such an underground album. I didn't even know about that till years later. Somebody turned me on to that years later. So I missed that buzz of Thug Life. I caught it, listened to it years later, and I loved it, bro. You know, I don't just listen to raps albums and love them, but that Thug Life, I loved every song. I love the production on there. I love how Pop was rapping, and he was rapping very differently from Strictly For My Niggas and from Tupacalypse Now. This was a much improved Tupac, a much better songwriter, a much better rapper. Now he had a cadence. His cadence was, hey, I tell you, mama, don't worry. You know, it was a cadence, and it was catchy. You know, it caught my attention. Mama to the hoes out, bumping Osley. He had some cool songs this time. The songs was cool, man. Songs had swag to them. You know, so that whole album was the shit. Thug Life was the shit for real. I mean, it was a vintage ass, had a vintage ass sound to it. You know, I compare it to like watching the movie Friday. You know, it was a cult classic. You know what I'm saying? That's how good it was. So yeah, man. But Pac is still, he's not known to the major masses. He's known, but he's known getting into more trouble than for his artwork. You know what I'm saying? Then he gets in trouble with the rape case. You know, so his name is buzzing all over the news. He shoots 2 Atlanta cops. His name buzzing over the news. He gets arrested. And by this time, he's pretty much a lower level superstar. He's a lower level superstar, right? Lower level superstar by this time. You know, because of a combination of interviews, movies, and albums. So he's a lower level superstar by this time. And he goes to jail. Me Against the World comes out. Me Against the World puts him on superstar status right there. That Me Against the World album. And somebody wrote in the comments about Pop was a poor man, Will Smith. If he didn't get shot and arrested, he wouldn't have had that. Nobody would have checked for him. I think that's halfway true. I do. I'm not going to lie. I think that's halfway true. I think the controversy he involved himself in, it created a buzz for him in the media, the news. So now, when an album drops out, or when he comes out with an album, people are familiar with him and wants to know, you know, what's this guy's issue? What's his problem? Let me listen to this album and see what's going on with this dude, because he's always getting into trouble. He's always on Action 9 News. And mind you, he was the first rapper to be in the news as often as he was. Now, rappers are in the news all the time. But Tupac was the first. The OG. I say the first rapper to constantly be in trouble and to be in the headlines all the time. In the media all the time. He was the first one to do it. That's why he the GOAT, man. So, and that did bring him more record sales. His controversy, him being in the media, him being in the news all the time, did bring him a buzz and did bring him more record sales. Minus, if he wasn't in the news, he probably wouldn't got the attention he got. I'm gonna be real, that's true. So when he went to prison for the rape case, he got shot, you know, in Quad Studios. Go to jail, go to prison. It's all over the news. That created a buzz, and that created more record sales. So when Me Against the World comes out, it becomes the number one album in the country because people want to know what's up with this dude. Let me listen to. Now we can't hear him in an interview, but we can listen to his album. So let's buy his album and see what's going on. Let's see what he's talking about on this album. So a lot of those sales that made number one record in the country came from him being in all that trouble all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think if he was just a squeaky clean dude, never got in trouble, I don't know if that Me Against the World would have did so well. I'm going to keep it real with you. But Me Against the World didn't disappoint at all. It really gave us an insight onto the mind, into the personality of this guy named Tupac. It gave us an insight, a peek at this guy's life, what he going through, and all the drama in it. So Me Against the World was a great album for us to understand who this guy Tupac was. And so yeah, it was the number one album in the country. Tupac was in jail. It catapulted him to superstar level. Now he's a bona fide superstar now. Bona fide superstar. Before even joining Deathrow, he's a legend. He's a superstar right now. He's the Shaquille O'Neal of the rap game. You know, he's Shaq. Now, and you got Snoop over there, who's Michael Jordan in the Chicago Bulls, and they win the championships. So now, Shaq wants to win him a ring, so he teams up with Michael Jordan and the Bulls. He teams up with the Chicago Bulls. Two superstars becoming a superpower, bro. That's exactly how I felt in 1996 as I was in basic training. So I didn't get a chance to buy the album because I was in basic training in 95, 96. While the album was out, I was in MEPS boot camp. About to head to boot camp. I was at the MEPS station in South Carolina, Fort Jackson. Never forget it. So I didn't even hear none of that. I didn't see the buzz on TV. I didn't see him when he joined Deathrow. I saw it in the magazine. I read it in the magazines. Okay, Tupac gets out of jail. He joins Deathrow. You know, I read it in the magazine. You know what I'm saying? He drops a double CD, something that's never been done before in hip-hop. I read that all in the magazine. I didn't get a chance to hear, and I was so desperate to hear that goddamn All Eyes on Me, man. I was so desperate to hear it, bro. Oh, I wanted to hear that so bad because I knew this dude gets better and better on each album. And I know he was going to kill it because Snoop and Dre and The Chronic and Doggy Style, come on, bro. That was crazy. And now y'all finna get Tupac with y'all? Oh my God. Tupac finna give us something we never heard. Tupac finna, oh man. I wonder how he gonna flow on a Dre track. Come on, that's gonna be bananas. How is he gonna flow on a Dre track, dog? God damn. I was just so intrigued, man. So I go through boot camp. I get to boot camp, right? So we in boot camp. We waking up 4 in the morning. We doing PT. We running. You know, it's a whole learning process. Drill sergeants hollering at us, fussing at us. So about maybe a month or two, maybe about a month in the boot camp, you know, they started to lighten up on us a little bit. And one dude went and bought the goddamn All Eyes on Me CD. My platoon leader. Yeah, my platoon leader. He had the goddamn All Eyes on Me CD. And he was listening to it in his top bunk at night. And I was like, yo, I gotta hear that shit. Yo, man, let me hear that shit, bruh. Cause he was laying down on his top bunk. You know, all the lights were out. It was time to go to bed. So he was on his top bunk, right, with his headphones on, listening to that shit. And that shit was sounding good. I can hear that shit. That shit was sounding. It was sounding crystal clear. It was sounding good as hell. I said, "Hey, man, let me hear a little bit of it." Damn, that's the All Eyes on Me. See, oh man, you gotta let me hear a little bit. So he took his headphones off and let me hear a little bit. Oh man, and it sounded beautiful, bro. The beat, you know, I think it was dun 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 dun. I think it was a song with George Clinton was playing, but I only heard like about 10 seconds of it. And then Tupac was rapping on that bitch. I never heard Tupac rap like that before. I said, God damn, oh shit, that shit sound good as fuck. Oh my God, I bet that nigga selling. Oh man, I bet he breaking records selling shit out the stores. Damn, it was hard for me to imagine Pac rapping on the goddamn Pac with Deathrow. Pac rapping on the Dre beat, cause I thought Dre produced everything. And mind you, Dre was a mega superstar back when I was in high school, man. From NWA to the Chronic to Doggy Style, Snoop Dogg. Bruh, Dre was all that in a bag of chips. Dre was a legend. Y'all, and that goddamn Doggy Style was fire, and that Chronic was fire. And now Tupac finna rap on the Dre beat? Holy shit. It was something like out of this world, bruh. It was something out of this fucking world. Then when I heard it, I was like, oh my God. The little 10 seconds I did hear, I'm like, oh, I was so excited, bruh. I couldn't wait to get the damn CD. Damn, that shit was like listening to a Bugatti, bruh. That shit like, that's how, you know what I'm saying, that's how mesmerizing it was, you know. That's how luxurious it sounded. Like being in a Bugatti or a Lambo. It sounded luxurious when I heard it. Rich and clean, you know. Because I never heard Tupac on a rich and clean track. Tupac tracks was kind of dirty and muddy, but I like that sound. You know, it was a, you know what I'm saying? But when he got the Deathrow on a Dre track, what I heard was super clean. I could hear every instrument. Beautiful. Then Tupac rapping super clear. His voice was super clear on it. So, man, it was something out of this world, bro. So, I was able to get the CD later on after we graduated from boot camp and go to AIT. We get some time. AIT is not that hard. AIT, they don't be as strict as boot camp. So AIT, they let up on you a little bit. You can have some things. That's when I went into the store and got the CD. All Eyes on Me CD. Never forget it. Went to the mall, South Carolina Mall, got the CD. Everybody was playing. That's all everybody was playing. Was All Eyes on Me CD. And everybody's favorite song was the first song, Ambitions as a Rider. Everybody had that on repeat. Nobody cared about nothing else. That Ambitions as a Rider, everybody had that on repeat, man. And so that's what I listened to. That's what I had on repeat. Yeah, man. The whole CD, boy. The whole CD was crazy. But I had that Ambitions as a Rider on repeat, because I never heard Tupac come like that. And, you know, it was magical, man. That was magical. So yeah, man, now I get kind of foggy after that. everything gets kind of a little foggy after that. But yeah, I remember listening to the whole CD, falling asleep. You know, people borrowing my CD and all that. Wow. So yeah, Pac was definitely a superstar before Deathrow. When he got to Deathrow, he was it was like I said, he was a superstar like Shaq joining the Chicago Bulls. That's all it was. Now imagine if Shaq joined the Chicago Bulls at their peak. Imagine how great they would be. That's how Deathrow was. Deathrow was great like that. And winning championships. Because you know Shaq and Michael Jordan would have won a lot more championships. Would have just, not only championships, but let's say not championships. Let's just say they gonna cause havoc in the league. When you got Shaq and Jordan on the same team and they going up against everybody else, they gonna reap havoc. They gonna reap havoc on their competition. And that's what Pac on Deathrow did. He reaped havoc on his competition. So during that whole season, Pac was wreaking havoc on the competition, on the rap game, on Biggie, destroying all the rappers, destroying teams like Shaq and Jordan would destroy teams. That's how Tupac was, destroying rappers like Shaq and Jordan destroying teams. Tupac was on the biggest team in hip-hop and destroying all other teams. Destroying rappers, man. So it was a beautiful thing to be there in that time and moment and to watch. Beautiful moment, man. Beautiful time to be in 1996. Beautiful time to be alive. Beautiful time to be a young man. Beautiful time to listen to hip-hop, man. It was beautiful. Tupac expert, bro. I'm out.